So we see on our screen a picture from the pitting area at the World of Outlaw event tonight at the Plymouth Dirt Track. The high limit racing drivers high limit racing themselves posted the high limit racing pitting areas with the high limit flags displayed at the back of the trailers with Kubota waving in the air. At every one of the high limit trailers, they did this. How do you feel about this, Sean?
We'll see what happens tomorrow, I guess, huh?
I mean, the flags won tonight. Any response to the flags coming into the pitting area tonight, guys, in the chat? High limit stuff them poles down deep. Wow, okay, so that's the educational way to say it. I can tell you that they were told to take them down? Whoa, breaking news supplied by Chase Raudman. Wow, that's bullshit. Now I was making jokes with, flags and all that, but that's bullshit. I would not say ban the flags. I am acceptive, though. I'm progressive. They have banners at pitting areas. That's never been a problem, Sean.
No.
Why are these flags so offensive?
It's two series battling for...
But they don't even acknowledge high limit. They don't even say their names.
I know.
Wow. I was just joking. I didn't think it was going to get that serious that fast. You're telling me wow, Chase Raudman saying it there. I can tell you that they were told to take their flags down. That is not right. But that is not surprising, Chase. You worked at World Racing Group. You know, these are the people we're dealing with. They don't want to accept the flags. They want to be traditional in their ideology. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. World Racing Group is so weak, I agree. Outlaws being crybabies like Chaz, okay, fine. Flags and not lights like the old days, exactly. They shouldn't say no flags, just no high limit logos. That's some shit they would pull too. But look, even if it says high limit, even if it says Kubota, can Rico not have a flag that says, Rothwell Winery? Yeah, it's not one of your sponsors. What the hell? It's not like I could get it if it was a competitive sponsor. Like if it was, say somebody wanted to go to a high limit race and fly a John Deere flag. Okay, now you got a problem, right? You got a problem, because it's a competitive sponsor. It's a Kubota. It's just like NASCAR had their issue with Sprint and Nextel and then AT&T sponsors and all that. Or if NOS, if you wanted to come in there and fly another, energy drink company, then you got a problem. Well, but what? Go.
And I think, if I remember right, I've heard Tony Laporta say World of Outlaws coming out of his mouth a couple times this year, in like post-race interviews or...
Yeah, but the Outlaws don't mention high limit at all.
Right. And they can't have their damn flags flying around in
the pits.
That's crazy.
That's stupid. Absolutely ridiculous. Even this Appalachian Wrench guy, who, by the way, is like some guy who works on cars. He's got like 50,000 followers on Facebook. This Appalachian Wrench guy. Now that I hear the story of what's really going on, a sponsor being a bully is bullshit. A group being a bully is bullshit. What the World of Outlaws just did to ban the flags is, first of all, not only anti-progressive, it is also petty and bullshit.
Well, it's not going to make World Outlaws look any good when you want to cry about some fucking flags in the pits.
But somebody's got to be the good guy and somebody's got to be the bad guy. And just like politics, each side is viewed as a good guy and each side is viewed as a bad guy. It's the political game. It's the same political game. And then to add on to that, once again, Real American Beer, the title sponsor of the World Outlaw Late Model Series, and the series sponsor with the Sprint Car Series, Real American Beer is owned by a majority stockholder of Flow. Flow Racing technically owns Real American Beer, a company that just sponsored the Outlaws. So how much are we watching an actual simulated war? That's the thing with politics. This is why I don't buy into politics. It's because you could go down the money trails and see big money supporting both sides of the political parties. So it's like the money tells the politicians what to do. If they're both being supported by the money, they're both on the same team. There is no split. There is no true divide. As much as they go on their TVs and act like there's a left and a right, they're still getting paid by the same man. They're working for the same company. And that seems slowly, potentially, what's happening here. But to take the flags away, well, and that's the deal. Flags are awesome, just not with high limit logos at the World of Outlaw. You know what? You know what? You know why? I bet you I know why. You know why? Hold on. Let me get the real look. You know why the Outlaws banned those fucking flags? Because they look badass. They look cool. They look very good for the presentation of a high limit series when you walk into the pitting area and there's flags designating who each driver is. And I bet you the World of Outlaws is mad they didn't think of it first.
High Limit's they're just a few steps better. They've obviously learned all.
They're not better in calling races, I'll say that much. And they're not better in the teching department. But
The presentation though is
what?
The presentation though is good.
Yeah.
They're a step better.
And then now we got to seriously ask ourselves, are they better on the track? We could sit here, like I've sat here on this show and said, Kofoid, Schuhart, Sheldon, Schatz, Macedo. I already even had Macedo. I said Selzy. These 5 guys here are way better than Tyler Courtney, which is the second best driver on high limit. But we just watched those guys outrun them. We just watched Tanner Thorson and Danny Sams. And all these guys. Well, sorry, I forgot Rico. I was leaving Rico and Sweet out. Like I said, he's the third best driver, Tyler Courtney. I've been sitting here saying there's 5 or 6 guys on the Outlaw Tour better than high limit. I don't know if I could say that now. The results don't say that. You got 2 weeks, World Outlaws. 2 weeks to prove them wrong. You got tomorrow and Sunday, and then you got Knoxville Friday and Saturday for true match races. The World of Outlaws is going to have to really step shit up. The World of Outlaws is going to have to, and Knoxville will sort it out. Was it not Rico and Kyle who was 1 and 2 at Knoxville earlier this year?
Yep. Yeah.
That's where you pushed off the Asians, the Asian pushing Asian situation.
Yep.